What's going on, everyone? Today we're going to be going over Pump.FUN. I haven't went over this in a good little minute, but I've noticed a nice little pump that has came in for Pump.FUN. So we're going to talk about why it's been going up, where I think it's about to go next. Anyways, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Let's get straight into it. So as you can see right now, Pump.FUN is currently priced at 0.0038. So that's where we're looking at right now, 3872. So it's up 8.6% inside of the last 24 hours, 2.9% in the last 7 days. So that's good, but it's still down 46% in the last 30 days. The volume's decent, 337 million, 1.3 billion inside of not 24-hour trading volume, but inside of market cap, 1.3 billion. So that's pretty good. That's pretty decent. We do have this news of the airdrop that's supposed to be coming around, but I read this post by this person and it says it looks like they're finally starting to send out the pump airdrops. Bear in mind, I've probably done over 50 million volume on pump swap LPs. I don't know how true that is, but that's what he just said. 100 million plus on all coins deployed via Pump.FUN, created coins, etc. Good luck. And it shows $5.62. So yeah, so I guess it's not paying out that good for the airdrops. So yeah, I guess it's like that. But people are expecting a pump here, but I kind of want to talk about what I see coming for Pump.FUN. So let's go ahead and look at the numbers. This is what everyone wants to see. So look, we have a nice little channel here inside of Pump.FUN. Now this channel is a bull flag. This is definitely a bull flag right here. And typically, usually a bull flag, it might look like it'd be a little bit higher up, but in general, this is what we're looking at for a bull flag. So here are some examples of bull flags. As you can see here, these are some examples of the bull flags, and it kind of looks similar to what we have now. You might say that it's a little bit sharper, more of a sharp decline here, but you know, it does look like a bull flag. So I believe at the end of this, we might be good. We are seeing some more buying pressure coming back in on the MACD. So what I'm hoping here is that either A, it takes off from where it's at now. You can notice how it's right here at that Fibonacci support at 0.0038 is at that support right there. And it doesn't want to go below it, but let's say if it does go below it, then we're going to be eyeing the support down here right at 0.00259 to be exact. So if we do end up taking off here though, then now we're looking to come up here, create new highs, 0.0047, and eventually trying to break past this level so we can continue to create new highs. But I also want to remind you guys what is going on with Bitcoin, because that is a huge factor in this, and everything at some point is going to end up trying to follow Bitcoin, right? Because Bitcoin can bring the whole market down, let's be honest. And you can see over here that on the MACD, that was a lot of selling pressure, Now you can kind of see a little bit of buying coming in, and that's why we're seeing the lightly red shaded areas. But it's still a lot. It could end up doing something like this where a tiny buy comes in and then a lot more selling comes right back in. Same thing that happened back here. So hopefully we don't see that, but that's a huge amount of selling pressure. When you look at it, it's greater than all of this, not all of it combined, but it's greater than all these sells. So that was a pretty big amount of selling here from Pump.FUN, right? Or for Bitcoin. That was from 125K all the way down here to 104K. So we could easily follow Bitcoin. And another thing that I've been tracking here on Bitcoin is this right here. I've been showing it on all my videos just to, you know, give people some perspective. We are getting some selling here on the MACD inside of Bitcoin. I feel like it's only a matter of time that it comes all the way down from here. And then we also have the %R trend exhaustion showing a very particular trend here. And the short-term trend is the white line, which should come down here, as the blue line being the long-term trend will come right down here and then meet it here. And then that should go back up right up to here as this goes back up to, and then the actual crash. And this is why I'm saying February 2026, like get ready. Like we might be pumping a little bit of 2026 right inside of January 2026. We might see a little bit of pumping, and then going into February we might see some And then after that, like mid-February, I believe we'll just see crashing, just coming down, everything coming down. And that's kind of what it's looking like if we follow this path right here. If we do exactly what this is showing, then inside of February of next year, the actual crash is going to be coming. And you could say the actual crash, or it could be just, just another crash, right? And then it might not recover like before, right? It might just do these 3 times, because usually the third time's a charm for actual patterns. The third time is usually the charm. So then after the third, now the patterns are done. So the fourth time, I'm gonna guess that it's going to be some sideways trading, right? And that is probably going to be what it's going to be like. It's going to pull back, it's probably going to crash, and it's probably going to go sideways and then go down a little bit lower. That's usually how bear markets happen, but it might not happen like that this time. It might not go all the way down, but we'll have to see. But anyways, moving on back to Pump.FUN. And before we talk about that, remember, Bitcoin is kind of new to everything, right? And we have the stock market coming and going in cycles, but the stock market ultimately is always increasing, and it's not always coming back down to its all-time lows and then going up again. I feel like soon Bitcoin, I don't know about all the other cryptos, I feel like that's how Bitcoin is going to be. Bitcoin is not going to be pumping and then dumping all the way down, pumping and then dumping all the way down. No, you're going to see it 125K back down to 85K. And then the stock market starts going up again, and it goes up alongside it, and then back up maybe 135K, 140, 150. Now we're back down to 90. And then, we're kind of working our way up, though. The highs are getting higher and the lows are getting higher as well. And that's kind of happening in the stock market as well. And it's been happening since the old times. And I feel like Bitcoin is going to start to follow inside of that path. So we could have we have a nice pump coming in. And also, there's also another thing that you guys can think about. What if we come down here to the end of this pattern and then it breaks right here? What if it breaks right here? If it breaks right there, that means we're going to definitely get oversold, and we might sell off at the bottom and consolidate for a while. And this is what I was talking about, because if you look at all of most of 2022 and a lot of 2023, it was mainly consolidation. Like, it was a lot of consolidation phases. So you got to think about it like that as well. Like, there's pumps, consolidates, pulls back, pumps, consolidates, and pulls back. But yeah, starting from here all the way down here, you can see all that consolidation, and that could be something similar to what we see coming up next. So there's also a possibility that this is like a prolonged sell-off, right? So where it's just like prolonged and it's just going sideways. So there's all these different possibilities. This is something that we don't want to see again. We do not want to see this again. That's going to be bad. But, given the state of the market and how like the institutional investors are like buying up crypto like crazy, I think they're just trying to push it down right now. And then once Bitcoin gets down to 85K, I feel like that's when everything will start to take off. So, that's just my theory here. And then if we come back, we actually look at Bitcoin, all the 32% drops, followed by the bull flags, as you can see here, and falling wedges. So you can also see this one was interrupted by Trump when Trump was doing all the news. First it pumps because they had some news before that, and then it dumped. So as you can see, things have been manipulated here, but they have came back into the same course that we were in before, and that is heading down to 85K. That's what I'm thinking. So if it's another 32% drop, we're looking for 85K on Bitcoin. So what does that mean for Pump.FUN? We can go ahead and pull that back up here. So wrong one. But yeah, let's go over here to the Coinbase Pump.FUN. That's the one right there. All right, so what this means for Pump.FUN is another pullback, obviously. And that's why I was saying, like, there is a possibility that Pump.FUN can break away from Bitcoin and become an outlier and just start creating its own uptrend. But then eventually it's coming down when everything's starting to go back up, right? So it's best if it honestly just keeps pulling back. It's kind of hard to tell if it's going to do that. With the way it's looking like on the MACD, it's looking like the buying pressure is starting to come back in, but the selling pressure could easily come right back in after buying pressure comes in. So it really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. So I'm honestly looking towards Pump.FUN doing something similar to this. or even maybe even taking off, getting rejected and coming down, or eventually doing something like this and then taking off. So anything had happened at this point, but still, when you see Bitcoin bottomed at 85K, the next thing you need to be looking at is, if Bitcoin goes below 85K, where does it go next? It goes all the way down to 74K. So if we break 85K support, then that almost invalidates everything that I just showed. Not necessarily, because it just means we'll take off once we get to 74K possibly. Or what if we don't and we keep continuing on a downtrend? So there's always those different scenarios. But look, this is what the institutional investors do. They shake people out. They're shaking people out. They keep doing it the whole time. They've done it all right here. They've shaken people out all right here. And now they're shaking people out again. And when it comes down to 85K, it'll be at the same exact level as these 2 times here. So it'll be 3 times in a row. And then not only is that 3 times in a row, what else is 3 times in a row? When we come over here on the weekly chart and look at the percent R trend exhaustion, 3 times in a row, each sell-off getting a little bit larger every single time, but still staying at 32% of selling off. And that's because the market cap increases. So obviously it's going to look slightly larger, but it's not really. And then you can see this one as well. So 3 times, guys, 3 times. We had that how many times? 3 times, and then we have 3 times here. So maybe this can be like a conspiracy theory thing, right? I mean, that's what it could look like here, but this is kind of how these charts move. Like, there's always patterns in the chart. So you can even notice on certain indicators, you also have patterns in your indicators that you can look at and use to help guide you. So anyways, this is just something I've been looking at here, and I think if we can come all the way back here and look at Pump.FUN again, like I said, 0.0025, I believe it was. That's going to be a good level for people to look at if you want to look at a good buy zone. If we continue to pull back inside of Bitcoin and it brings Pump.FUN back down too, then a good buy zone for that would be around 0.0025 down here at this support. Well, really it's at 0.0026. And you might say, why did I have that? That's because that is where the last support was back here. That was a good support right there. That is kind of what saved us and then sent us on an uptrend. And that's kind of why that's such a good support. So you definitely want to look around 0.0026, 0.0025, give or take. That area right there is going to get you a nice entry level if we are to pull back some more, right? So anyways, this is all I got for you guys today. Definitely go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Also, guys, go ahead and join and become a member of the channel. It's only $9.99 per month. I'll go over any project that you guys want me to go over. We got a video for another member that I'm going to be going over soon as well. So shout out to that member. And if you guys want me to go over these videos for you guys, going over these crypto projects or stocks, doing technical analysis and different stuff like that, then go ahead and become a member. It's only $9.99 per month. And you'll probably make the money back in the first month. And look, we're planning to do members only live streams as well. So that's another thing that we're going to be implementing soon. But anyways, I'm going to catch you guys in the next video. Again, hit the like button and subscribe. And as always, I'll be back with another video.